at Limoto Wetland have started harvesting their first bunch of fish under the Alternative Livelihood Initiative that was established by the Ministry of Water and Environment. During the restoration of the wetland, the Ministry of Water and Environment relocated cultivators and provided them with alternative livelihoods such as cattle rearing, poultry and fish farming, among others. Gerald Matembu with the good news coming by for us. Gerald, I do think the farmers are now happy. They see where government was going with this alternative. Do they appreciate it now when you speak to them?
Thank you, Victoria. This is a program, an initiative of the president that was flagged off in 2018, trying to figure out how best the farmers can be helped to get out of rice growing, paddy rice growing, which was having a very heavy toll on the environment, especially Limoto Island, which is found in Bukedi North region, and also Bukedi, the other part of Bukedi. But now the fruits of the efforts that have been going on for a number of years have started yielding fruits after the farmers today harvested their first batch of fish. Of course, the idea is that the fish should be able to give the farmers better livelihood, actually a higher yield than what they have been getting out of rice. Because Victoria, we are told that out of an acre of rice, the farmers have actually been getting about 700,000 shillings. That is according to the mathematics that was done by the community, the district authorities, and also in the presence of the president. And the hope is that after selling this fish, they expect to get much more returns. And I can confirm that depending on the kind of yield that I have witnessed them harvesting today, there is a high likelihood that the farmers are actually going to appreciate the issue of fish farming as an alternative livelihood, and therefore stop encroaching on the wetland. As we speak today, the Limoto Wetland, as a result of these interventions, Victoria, has started regaining its vegetation and also the biodiversity. There we can see there is a bit of regeneration. The farmers are now using the wetland for grazing and also other economic activities other than growing rice, and we hope that that will be maintained, especially now that such alternative livelihoods have been put in place. Like you rightly said at the introduction, it's not only fish farming, but also there are those who are keeping cattle and others keeping poultry, while others doing horticulture. That is what I can say from Limoto, that is Palisa district. Over to you at the command center, Vicky.
Good news coming in from Mbale. And of course, I'd love to see that we are doing something, a step towards recovering what we have destroyed, especially with what just transpired in Turkey and the effects of climate change. Away from that, the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities has attributed the increasing cases of transnational and transboundary illegal wildlife trade to weak law enforcement units. And this was during a regional training in Entebbe that was aimed at building the capacity of law enforcement officers from both Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, across whose borders the illicit trade is on the rise.
Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Doreen Katusime, noted with concern a change in tactics among the wildlife traffickers. She says, calls for increased capacity building among law enforcement officers to curb the increasing illicit trade across borders.
As Uganda, like we said earlier, we have gone as far as even establishing a special court so that we can train specific people, whether they are prosecutors, law enforcement, or even the judges, the judicial officers have been trained specifically about wildlife crime. We have strengthened the law itself to bring in stronger penalties so that, like you said, if somebody has committed a crime and is going to pay maybe 1 million shillings or 500,000, they would rather pay and get off with it. So, but the law has to become stronger and more deterrent so that the penalties are also stronger.
While officiating at a regional training of law enforcement officers against wildlife trafficking, Katusime tasked neighboring states to implement the Lusaka Agreement on combating the vice across seaports and airports.
But that is why we need a joint effort. We cannot do this alone. And that is the whole purpose of the Lusaka Agreement, to bring together countries that are within one region, because most of our problems are similar. Most of us have similar species of animals. So if we are able to investigate together, if the case is in Uganda, but Lusaka Agreement is able to bring all these countries together to investigate, so that by the time you do prosecution, you have enough, concrete evidence.
If you look at the statistics, just say about a liter of sandalwood oil, it costs around between $900 to about 1,500 USD, just a liter of sandalwood. So we are now seeing this rise in the trade of sandalwood in East Africa.
Stakeholders emphasize the need to further train players across the justice, law and order structures if they will see proper handling of criminals.
And I think bringing all the right people, either customs, analysts, police, revenue services, scientists, revenue authorities, everybody together, exchange information and work together to combat this.
Linda Ndumwami, Sunday Sebagala, NBS, live at 1.
Now, in a bid to increase improving access to institutions of higher learning across the country, Kyambogo University has embarked on establishing regional learning centers, and these will be in Bushenyi, Soroti and northern Uganda, and these will focus on education and science related courses. Take a look.
The Kyambogo University Vice-Chancellor, Professor Eli Katunguka, says as part of efforts to decongest the university's main campus, they have started rolling out regional learning centers, with 2 so far established in Bushenyi and Soroti.
Yeah, Kyambogo University is crowded. We now have 33,000 students on campus. And when we started these centers, that was one way of decongesting the center. And in our policy, we also allow students who are in Kyambogo, they can apply to come here, or they can apply to go to Soroti, so that we don't overcrowd the facilities we have at the center. Because the facilities we have they are not inelastic, they are limited in a way.
The university centers that will specialize in education and science-related courses will also target areas without universities or institutions offering the same courses.
Because we didn't want to go to Mbarara and start competing with Mbarara University. Because Mbarara was already there. Bishop University was already there. Ivanda University started recently, so that was not an issue. But that was our consideration. We knew there was KIU here, but the programs KIU is focusing on are completely different from the ones we're focusing on.
This was during the inspection of the Learning Center in Bushenyi by the Kyambogo University Council. The centers seek to help teachers across the country upgrade their education as is required under the new teachers policy, among others.
So the policy they have now, they have given these people 10 years. I think 3 years have gone already. So they now have about 7 years in which to get their bachelor's. So if it comes to the end of the 10 years, before they attain their objective, they will review their policy. But the number of teachers who need to upgrade is very big.
The move is also hoped to reach students that were previously unable to access any institution of higher learning.
And we started this center really to address their concerns. Instead of sending the children to Kampala, where it's very costly in terms of accommodation, feeding and the rest, they can come here and attain their education.
Catherine Katabazi, Ambrose Muhumuza, NBS Live at 1.
Now, police in Rwengo has blocked a rally aimed at distributing scholastic materials to learners by a one Mulumba Prosper Martin, the founder of Mulumba Foundation Africa, a charity organization. The Masaka police spokesperson, Kasirie Twaha, confirmed the suspension of the donation activities, saying the charity organization did not seek permission to hold the gathering. However, frustrated parents noted with concern that this is not the first time charities are blocked from helping them.
We have stopped an illegal gathering organized by Mr. Murumba Prosper Martin. He did not inform us in writing, and he was not permitted by the Inspector General of Police. So we have advised him to write to IGP to allow him in writing, of which, after allowing him, the IGP will notify us also in writing.
For us, we are not politicians. Our motive is to help our people. And I won't relent. I won't stop. I won't be toppled. I will continue, regardless of the situation, to help those that are suffering, those that are impoverished. I was once a victim. Today, by the grace of God, I can afford. Why not? So I won't relent, and I won't stop helping the rest of others.
Well, I know times are tough, and all the help that can be gotten can be appreciated, but the law is the law, and you may sometimes have to pass by the police's office or the police headquarters or anywhere, and you seek that permission if you want some of these activities to go on as planned. So I don't think the police is against the receiving of the scholastic materials. Really, I think for them it is more about keeping law and order. We do hope that can be resolved and these people can be helped. For now, keep it here, but I know a lot is happening in the kitchen. We're cooking. The Attorney General's report is one of those we've been keeping our eyes on and revealing step by step some of the facts that are coming out from these yearly audits on the different financial years on how government is spending. So it is something that you can look forward to in our subsequent bulletins. I'm Masengeje and NBS Live at 9. Victoria Bagaya Chigun is my name. Good afternoon.